Hello and welcome to the Movie Power Rankings show. I'm your host, Gabriel Alexander from Movie Power Rankings, and joining me again today is critic Mike Romick.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thanks for being here, Mike. Today we're going to take a look at the films in March and April of 2015. So without further ado, let's start with March. Number one in March is Cinderella. Kenneth Branagh directing here. Good reviews. It's going to undoubtedly be the top movie in March as far as box office.
And it was terrific. I thought it was wonderful. I mean, people have complained that it follows the old Disney movie closely, and I had no issue with that. I mean, there's some things that are different, but again, Maleficent made a fortune, worldwide everywhere, and I think Cinderella will do comparable to that. And, Maleficent had some script issues where this doesn't. And the production is wonderful. Cast is right on the money. Kate Blanchett is incredible as the stepmother. I mean, Lily James. I mean, it's good right down the line. And, my God, just give the Oscar to Sandy Powell for costumes now. I mean, the costumes are fantastic. Dante Ferrante did the production design, which is great. I mean, but again, it honors the tradition of that, and I think people will... Children will be going crazy.
Family film. For the whole family to go see, and without a doubt. It wasn't easy placing, or it wasn't hard placing Cinderella as number one in March.
So. Right, but again, it could have been, it could have been a letdown. It could have not, it not only found its audience. It's a great movie, or not a great movie, a terrific movie. It found its audience. I wouldn't say it's the best movie of the year so far or anything, but again, it was very enjoyable, and people that don't have little kids can have a good time too.
Okay, number two then in March is Insurgent, a sequel to Divergent from 2014. Neil Burger does not return to direct. He did direct Divergent. But the cast is back for Insurgent. And I know you liked Divergent a little better than I did.
Yes, I did. And, I like Kate Winslet, which I know you do too. But again, it's another one of these YAs that, I'm just... I don't know. I'll go to the new one, which just opened, but I don't know. I'm going to have to sort of drag myself.
It's more of the same.
I know.
Sorry. It'll be lucky if I see this on DVD. So
yeah, again, some of the early reviews have been good, and I assume they threw a lot of money at it and stuff. But still, it seems such a...
The preview seems to have a lot more action in this one. It looks a little better than the first one.
Yeah, the first one was not... a great looking movie, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not looking forward to it.
All right, number three in March was Chappie. Was released the first weekend in March. I think there's a little disappointment with Chappie. This is coming from Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9, a great
Fantastic
movie.
District 9.
And Elysium, which is still a decent movie
right.
with Matt Damon. But
right.
Chappie here, about a robot that they make, intelligent with artificial intelligence.
Reviews have not been good. They didn't critic screen it, and the business was not there. And they did really promote it, whether TV advertising at the movie theater, but audience didn't come out. I don't know whether it would have great reviews certainly would have helped it, but again, didn't seem like it's going to find an audience. Foreign, maybe.
Okay, moving on to number four, Get Hard. That will be released the last weekend in March with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart comedy. Will Ferrell asked Kevin Hart to prepare him for jail time. Looks funny.
Yeah, again, and Kevin Hart has a big following, and hopefully they mesh in with the Will Ferrell following, and as long as it's funny, not again, it could be stupid funny. God knows people went to Dumb and Dumber too. But again, it has potential to be a hit, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And rounding out the top five is Home, an animated film. Rihanna and the gentleman from The Big Bang Theory.
Jim
Parsons. They lend their voices.
And boy, there was a big article in Variety that talked about that DreamWorks Animation needs this to be a hit because they've had some disappointments with the penguins and different things, and I don't know.
I find that very interesting. So DreamWorks could go away if
the DreamWorks animation part of it could go away. And again, Penguins was not particularly good. And and there were other things that they'd done earlier that did mild, but again, a lot of these animation things are ridiculously expensive now, and you've got to make a ton of money, and it's got to be a tent pole where there's going to be sequels, and just haven't had that. And in home, and even in the article in Variety, and from what I've seen of the previews, doesn't look that good. And how you can tell the audience buzz when you see something. As we're talking about Paul Blart, the audience is just like, "Ooh, can't wait!" You don't get that from home, and boy, you gotta get that. And again, maybe it'll be enough with the Easter release and kids out of school, but remains to be seen. But it's a very important release for DreamWorks.
Yeah. Going up against Get Hard, that'll be the last weekend in March.
Right, anticipating the Easter holiday.
Right before Easter. Okay, moving on to number 6. You will probably see this drop in the power rankings once I finalize March, but Unfinished Business with Vince Vaughn. It's barely cracked 10 million.
Yeah, and they were thinking that audience that came to Wedding Crashers but didn't come to wasn't the interview. What was that? The Internship, the ones by Google.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't go to that. And Vince Vaughn needs a big hit, but hopefully his stock will go up with True Detective on HBO. But no, that they marketed that, and it just the audience didn't come.
Yeah, big disappointment there. Yeah. I'll probably drop that in the power rankings. Okay, moving on to number 7. We're in familiar territory with Run All Night, starring Liam Neeson.
Is that taken 4? No, that's not taken 4.
Might as well have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough about Run All Night. Number 8 is Serena. I guess another disappointment.
Been in the can, and you have Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and based on a famous book, and just sort of creeped out there, and everybody has said there was potential, but that wasn't the movie they made.
Well, with those two names, you would think you'd have something there, but they kind of just snuck it out there in March. So, okay, number 9 is The Gunman with Sean Penn. That's released this weekend while we're taping this, so we'll see how it does.
Lots of TV ads, action, but sort of like another Sean Penn filling in for Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
maybe he was filming something else at the time. Yeah. But again, reviews have not. They pre-screened it, and a lot of reviews, but everybody has been mixed, to say at best.
Yeah. And rounding out the top 10 is the second best exotic Marigold Hotel. You'll find this in the sequel series remakes category. I don't know how well it will fare in that category for the year, but it's done some business.
Right. Again, the audience, the first one was very enjoyable. The audience for that found it, and it was a big surprise hit. Whoever thought that would be a sequel to that? But of course, you have a wonderful British cast, and you have Maggie Smith, hot as she could be from Downton Abbey. And sadly, the movie's a disappointment. Looks beautiful, widescreen, beautiful color, cast. It does everything they can with a lot of material that is really just sort of tossed together. Some of the scenes are not very well edited. I was very disappointed. I thought, well, you're going to be in line with like 100-Foot Journey or the first Marigold Hotel, and you get what you pay for there, and you have a good time. Well, I did not have a good time at that. But again, it probably didn't cost a whole lot. It'll make a ton of money with older audience, whether you go to England or it'll probably make money. There could be a third one, but let's wait for a good script this time.
I saw the first one for some reason, and I doubt I'll be seeing this one.
Yeah, well, no. If you didn't like the first one, you are definitely not going to like the second one.
Okay, quickly moving through the rest of films in March, you may see maybe 5 to 10 more films show up on the list, as they may be limited releases that I did not catch.
And things get moved around.
Right. But a couple interesting ones. Number 11 is White God. It's about a pack of dogs. It's a foreign film. About a pack of dogs that seemingly we were talking, kind of comparing it to the birds.
They band together against humanity.
Yes.
What country? Do you remember what country that is?
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
12 is Merchants of Doubt.
Oh,
it's a documentary on the climate change deniers. 13, another film getting really great reviews. It Follows, a horror film about a sexually transmitted disease that is not what you would typically think of a sexually transmitted disease. So a lot of interest in that. 14 is Road Hard, film I added, starring Adam Carolla. Small little comedy. Don't really know much about it. They kind of snuck it out there. So, and 15, Do You Believe? I tend to bury these Christian films that are just kind of targeted for that niche audience.
Right, and they pre-sell the tickets to religious groups, and again, they're not worried about reviews or whatever. I mean, they're marketing to a certain audience, and usually they keep them cheap enough, and get your Kirk Cameron in it or whatever, and they'll.
And again, the timing is for Easter, and
right.
I'm sure it'll do some business with the church crowd.
Along with Little Boy, which we'll discuss later.
So next we're going to move on to the April films. We'll do a little April preview now. Looking at these films, this is a weak month. I thought January and February were bad, but really, there's only one notable film, and that's number 1, Furious 7. Last year, Captain America cleaned up in April, and I think Furious 7 is going to do the same here in 2015.
And you've got, they restructured and did some things after the unfortunate death of Paul Walker, and they're going to have it's far enough away that people will be, very interested to see this without sort of a nasty taint to it. And again, I thought Fast 5 was the best of the bunch. I wasn't crazy about the 6th one. Hopefully, number 7 again. All these people are back, so and that preview looks good and nice timing. I mean, it will be the guy movie to see over the Easter break, and
plenty of time between that and then Avengers, which will kick off the May films and the summer.
Avengers, I'm not familiar with that. What's that one?
You'll probably see the preview on TV between now and then.
Sounds good.
Okay. Number 2 in April, Child 44. It's a drama, Soviet Russia-based drama, but starring Tom Hardy and Gary Oldman. It's about the investigation of disappearances of children in Russia, around Moscow.
It's got to be marketed right. Preview looks good, though. But, I mean, hopefully the reviews will be there. But, again, it's not going to be an easy sell to audiences, but looked good.
Yeah. Number 3, Age of Adeline, starring Harrison Ford and Blake Lively, about a woman who doesn't age.
Preview didn't do much for me.
Well,
poor Harrison Ford.
Plane crashes and
broken legs and oh my God.
At least we have Star Wars later on this year to look forward to.
Really? I hadn't heard.
You're a movie critic, Okay. Number 4 is Little Boy. You probably know a little bit more about it. You saw the preview.
I saw the preview several times. And I mean, it's got a very good cast. It looked good as far as the physical production. But again, it's another one of those religious things where a little boy's father, Michael Rappaport is the father, goes off to World War II. And the little boy wants him to come back. And then he seems to be able to do miracles and move things. And the people in his little town look like out west to me. And are wild about him because they assume he has these powers. So again, it'll be marketed to that religious group, but it looked like a little higher budget type thing. So remains to be seen. But they're doing heavy ads on the movie theaters.
Well, I would bet that's going to be the first weekend in April. Then, since that's the Easter weekend.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, rounding out the top 5 in April is Longest Ride. It's based on the author of The Notebook.
Doesn't he ever take a vacation?
How many books does he have?
Oh my God! I mean, I can see the ad campaign already. The guy, the woman, she's God forbid.
And this time it's in the rodeo world. So
so maybe more men will want to. No, it won't be so hard to drag them to it.
Okay, number 6, a movie that we were both kind of interested in, Russell Crowe directing, The Water Diviner. It's kind of a period piece, war movie, and kind of has a little buzz on it.
Like after Gallipoli, which again, Russell Crowe was in Gallipoli. That was Mel Gibson again, which was a wonderful movie.
Peter Weir,
right. But again, that period in Australia is fascinating. Lots of wonderful movies from there. And so hopefully... I have high hopes for that.
Yeah. We mentioned it earlier. Number 7, Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2. You're right. The audience does like that preview.
Oh, it's probably going to do wonderful business, but I mean, just the preview. I was like, oh, why are you laughing? I mean, oh my god.
That's why I have it at 7. It's got to earn its way up higher. In
Yeah,
the power
it'll be
rankings.
the Dumb and Dumber 2 audience will be out in force. There's no question.
Yeah,
They do shoot in Vegas, and the preview makes Vegas look bad. And
Okay, 8 is our Earth Day Disney documentary, Monkey Kingdom here.
Yeah.
These are successful documentaries.
Yeah, it looks good, and then it goes to DVD, and then it goes on the Disney Channel, and and then that first week, I believe, what a part of your ticket price goes to or Earth Day animal preservation or whatever. And again, preview looked good, but again, it's in line with they usually have one every Earth Day.
Yeah. Number 9 is a horror film called Unfriended. I think I've seen the preview. Kind of like a cyber horror film about social media. We all know what unfriended means in regards to Facebook. So they're trying to capture that into a horror film. So.
And the thing is, they need to key into that audience with something a little different, and maybe that'll do that.
April's kind of a weak month here, and last year Oculus, which was a very good horror film, that was released in April of 2014, so we'll see what Unfriended can do here. But there is a film, we'll talk here, number 10, which is what I'm most excited for in April, Ex Machina. The previews have just started rolling out on this. Looks amazing. It's about a guy, Oscar Isaac, who
the ever busy Oscar Isaac,
will be in Star Wars later this year. He was in A Most Violent Year from
Inside
2014.
Llewellyn Davis, and
in Ex Machina here, he is an inventor, kind of entrepreneur who creates a robot with artificial intelligence. We were talking about Chappie. I think this is going to be the movie that people are talking about. Not Chappie, which is unfortunate for Chappie.
And you have seemed a little familiar, similar to her in a different way, but no, preview looked good.
Yeah. Okay, that's all we'll discuss here for April. There are 19 films that I have in the full list. So if you want to check those out, go to moviepowerrankings.com. You can follow us on Twitter at @MPRankings and find us on Facebook, Movie Power Rankings. Thanks for watching.